this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Instagram to bring on new clients on a consistent basis. And I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you how I'm using it for my coaching business, for my agency, and how my students are actually using it to bring on new clients on demand. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, guys, a little bit of backstory. I've been running an agency for almost 15 years now. In the last 5 years, we've done over $7 million in total revenue. And ever since I figured out how to spend money to acquire a customer, I've never looked back, and I've always grown my businesses using advertising. It was back in 2015 when I first figured this out. But before then, it was always feast and famine in our business. We did a ton of one-off projects and we worked with pretty much any client that was willing to give us money, but it was very difficult for us. We didn't know where our next client was gonna come from. I'm naturally an introvert, so I never wanted to do cold calling. And the worst part for me was that I actually had to do cold calling. I had to pick up the phone, start dialing. I had some really bad experiences doing that. I had to pound the streets and knock on doors. I live in South Texas, so it's freaking hot down here. And I would go to networking events, the whole nine, right? Just to bring on new clients. And in 2015, something really interesting happened. I cold called the Mets ball. They were willing to hear me out. And I did a 2-week trial campaign for them. And they got amazing results. Within those 2 weeks, I helped them implement a campaign for their business. They generated 127 leads and they turned those leads into $25,000. And all I did was that I recorded a video testimonial of the result that we got them, and I created a case study blog article about it. And I just put some ad spend dollars behind that on Facebook. And lo and behold, the next few days, my phone started ringing of people saying, hey, I saw what you did for that Mets ball. Can you do the same thing for us? Fast forward 6 months later, we were working with 30 Mets balls around the country. And that's when I had the paradigm shift, guys. When you are able to spend money to buy a customer, then that's when everything changed, right? And I get super passionate about this because my parents are entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. I grew up in it and I lived it myself, right? And in my family, it was the same thing. My dad had really good months, then really bad months. And sometimes, we couldn't afford cable, right? We couldn't afford the internet. And, it was just a really weird thing. And I get super passionate about this because 2 reasons why most local businesses fail is number 1, lack of cash flow. And number 2, they don't know where their next client's gonna come from, sales, right? And so I then started offering this as a service to my clients, and it's just been such a big game changer because this is what gives you predictability in your business, right? When you know that if you spend $500 and you're gonna acquire a client that's gonna pay you an average of $2,000 to $3,000, that's when you have predictability and certainty in your business. When you learn the skill of acquisition, again, how to spend money to make money, then you'll never go hungry. And so I'm super excited to make this video for you all because I've been advertising for almost a decade now, and I've literally used every single funnel that you can think of, from direct response to VSLs to webinars to lead magnet campaigns. And what's really been blowing up right now, and a funnel that I am really enjoying creating, is the Instagram funnel. I refer to it as the social on-demand funnel. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the 4 steps that essentially it would take for you to get something up and running in regards to this, right? So for those of you who have never heard of a funnel before, let me just quickly break down what I'm referring to. So a funnel, I'm gonna break it down in 4 steps, right? Step number 1 in any funnel is generating a lead. Now there's several ways you can generate a lead. You can search on Google and pull a bunch of business names, people's names and phone numbers, and you just generated a lead, right? Somebody that you can contact. You can scrape emails and phone numbers, you can do that too. My preferred method is advertising. I'm gonna advertise and I'm gonna generate a lead through advertising. Once you generate a lead, step number 2 is you are then gonna nurture that lead. And there's several ways that you can nurture leads, right? You can email them, you can take them to a sales letter or a video sales letter, you can put them inside of a Facebook group. You can add them to your Instagram community. As long as they follow you, they're gonna start seeing your content. They can obviously subscribe to your YouTube channel and they'll get notifications every time you upload a new video. You can obviously use LinkedIn as well. One that I didn't even put here was like podcasts, right? Like you can nurture people through content on your podcast. Once you nurture them, then these people will ultimately want to book a call with you, right? So the lead will book for a sales call with you. And then ultimately step number 4 is that you're gonna sell the lead. And this is how you would acquire a customer. So there's a ton of different ways that you can implement funnels, guys. Like I said, I've been advertising on Facebook for almost a decade now for myself and for my clients. And the Instagram funnel, the social demand funnel is a funnel that I've really been enjoying. My clients have been using it. And the reason why I like it, this is why I wanna teach you all this funnel, is because it's gonna help you all acquire higher quality leads because you're actually doing real marketing. In the past with direct response advertising, you're trying to reach out to a cold market and then that nurturing phase, you don't really spend a lot of time in that nurturing phase. So when people actually book a call with you, sometimes the show rate is really high, or you have to be really good at sales to actually get them to buy something. And so what's really cool about the social funnel is that you're actually doing real marketing, right? Like you're educating people, you're nurturing them, right? You're giving them a reason why they should choose you versus someone else. And so because you're doing more marketing on the front end, well then sales is actually gonna become a lot easier. And the purpose of marketing is to make sales easier, okay? And so that's why I've really been loving this, because once people jump on the phone with you, they're already pre-sold for the most part, and they just want to know if you can actually help them and if they can afford you, right? That said, you're going to have higher close rates because clients are pre-sold. So your sales, again, will be a lot easier, higher close rates, more money, right? And there's no disingenuous promises, right? And so a lot of what we see in the agency space right now is all these people making crazy promises with crazy guarantees. I'm gonna get you 100 clients, or you don't pay, I'm gonna give you your money back. I think ever since Hormozi came out with the $1 Million Offer book, there's all these people that have made really bold claims. And I've actually was one of them. I built an entire agency that I took to $120,000 in 3 months with a crazy offer like that. Offers are good. You should definitely have offers. What I learned against was having crazy guarantees. Crazy guarantees is not something that I would recommend because people don't buy you, they buy the guarantee. And this is the big difference with social funnels or funnels where you're actually doing a lot more marketing, because you actually get to sell the brand, you sell yourself, and you sell the mechanism more than the guarantee, and it actually brings in a higher quality client, which has just been awesome. No need for crazy guarantees. And then the reason why I've been liking Instagram over Facebook or LinkedIn or X specifically is because the algorithm is working on your behalf. Now, mind you, the funnel that I'm gonna show you, the strategy is the same, but it's just a different way of going about it. Like this funnel, the process of this funnel, the overall strategy, like you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on LinkedIn, you can do it on X, but I personally really like Instagram, specifically if you're a video agency or if you're a coach, because of the fact that you're leveraging a lot of creative material. And as an agency, as a creative person, especially if you're a video agency, you can showcase a lot of the work, and Instagram is such a really great platform for that. The algorithm works on your behalf, right? And so whenever somebody follows you and they go back on Instagram, well, guess what? You're gonna show up on their feed. So you're naturally retargeting people. They're also gonna see your stories, and that ends up working out really, really well. And you're just gonna attract happier and nicer clients, man. Like that's the most important thing. Like as I said before, because you're not selling a guarantee, you're not selling clients that are desperate in need of your help. They wanna work with you because they believe that you can actually help them, and that's what you want. Before we dive into the funnel, there are a few things that you will need to get the most out of this funnel. And so number one is that you have to be clear on who it is that you wanna serve, right? And so the more specific you are, like in speaking to an individual person, right? And understanding their pains, their wants, their frustrations, and their desires, the better it is that you're gonna build a relationship with that person. Because one of the fundamental truths about business is that we do business with people we know, we like, and we trust, right? And so the more that you're able to speak to your target audience's wants, frustrations, their pains, and their desires, the more they're gonna feel understood, and the more they're gonna trust you, the more they're gonna like you, right? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be understood, right? That's what we all want. In our group coaching call with some of the people that I'm mentoring right now, one of the guys was sharing a story where he was talking to a prospect. The guy ends up telling him, hey man, in the last 12 months, I've had several conversations with agencies, but nobody understands our industry. And it was just a testament to the fact that if you are able to niche down and be very specific on who it is that you want to serve, then ultimately you're gonna have a competitive advantage versus anyone else, okay? So you have to be clear who you want to serve, you have to niche down. Now, if you don't want to niche down, there are some ways to go around it. But again, my recommendation is to go and niche down as much as you can, okay? So you wanna have compelling messaging, but the only way you can have compelling messaging is by being clear, having somebody in mind that you wanna serve, right? So again, understanding their pains, wants, frustrations, desires. Then from that, you're gonna understand what your target audience wants and what they don't want. And when you understand this, then you can create an attractive offer. And so this is super important, and a lot of people overcomplicate offers. It's just understanding, what does your market want? What don't they want? And this is the classic example of weight loss. I wanna lose 10 pounds, but I don't wanna stop eating pizza. So if you can create an offer where you can give that to someone with your unique mechanism, then ultimately you're gonna have an attractive offer, right? So an offer is just a promise that you're putting out in the marketplace. A lot of people overthink offers. The only way you can actually come up with a compelling and attractive offer is by knowing who it is you want to serve, understanding what those people want and what they don't want, and then you can speak to them and craft a really good offer. And then number 4 is you're actually going to need an optimized Instagram profile, right? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn your Instagram into a landing page, and that's how you generate a lead. That's how you actually generate a follow. And so what you wanna do is optimize your account. You wanna put your offer on your account. You wanna put some credibility statements on there. Maybe you wanna have some highlight reels of other businesses that you helped, some of the work that you do, different things like that. You wanna have a very nice, professional profile photo on there as well, so people know that you're legit. If you can get certified, the certified badge on Instagram, I would definitely recommend you get that as well. All right, so I talked about the initial stuff. Let's actually dive in and talk about how the funnel works. This is the 4-step social demand funnel, and essentially you're gonna create content that you're gonna run as ads, okay? So a lot of people on Instagram, they'll go on there and they'll post stuff, but then what happens? Nobody sees it, right? Or you're relying on the algorithm and hoping that somebody will ultimately see it and that they'll wanna work with you, but it doesn't happen, right? What you wanna do is you wanna engineer. You wanna get more eyeballs on your content, and the way you're gonna do that is that you're gonna grab a few dollars every single day and you're gonna tell Facebook, hey, drive more traffic, okay? Get more eyeballs on my content. And you can start off small, maybe $25 a day, but obviously the more you spend, then the more sales calls you can get, the more opportunities you will have, right? And so this is referred to as top of funnel content. That's what TOF stands for. And I recommend 4 types of ads that you can run so that you can ultimately test. One is a value-driven ad. This is an ad where you are calling out your ideal prospects, you're educating them by giving them some free value, and then you are asking them to give you a follow on Instagram. An offer-driven ad. Now this offer-driven ad is where I dig in more to the pain points of my specific audience. And then I basically tell them that if they want help with those pain points, to give me a follow, okay? And then I have testimonial and case study ads. Testimonial and case study ads are super powerful. If you already have some, then I would definitely leverage them as ads, because all people want is a transformation. We're all trying to go from point A to point B, and you are gonna be the bridge that ultimately help people get there. And so if you can showcase a transformation, this is what I did. When I was growing my agency in the very beginning, I took a video of one of my clients talking about how amazing I was and how I helped them grow their business. And then, like I said, I turned it into a case study article, and I just put some ad dollars behind it. It wasn't even that much, right? But that blew up my phone, because when people see that, then they want to talk to you and they're like, hey, I saw what you did for this person. Can you do the same thing for me? And so if there's a need, there's a problem you're solving in the marketplace, then people are gonna wanna work for you. So case studies and testimonial ads work wonders, and my clients actually use it right now, and it's been working great for them. So if you have it, you should definitely leverage it. If not, you should definitely work towards getting one as soon as possible so you can run it as an ad. Now, my last option here is that these are all video based, but ultimately you can actually run a carousel ad where it's just a graphic and you're educating somebody on that graphic. I have examples of these that you all can see on my account if you actually want to go check those out. Okay, so what you're doing is that you're advertising these on Instagram and you're just boosting them, right? You're boosting them using the Meta Business Suite. Make sure you don't do it off your phone, because now Apple is charging Meta an additional, I think 30% if you try to boost off your phone. So don't do it off your phone. You can either do it off the browser or you can do it off Meta Business Suite. And then ultimately, you're gonna drive traffic to your Instagram profile. And what you're trying to optimize for is a new follower, okay? So once you get a new follower, essentially what's gonna happen is that they're gonna go and check out your content. And if you optimize your profile, as I mentioned earlier, then you're gonna have a really optimized account and you're gonna get a lot of people following you because they love the content that you're putting out. Now, you need to be putting out content. This is where marketing comes into play, right? And so a lot of people struggle to put out content. Look, guys, you have to understand that you're either gonna put in the work on the marketing side or you're gonna put the work on the sales side, right? So you have to choose what you wanna do. You'll have a lot more fun if you spend more time on the marketing part and then less on the sales part, okay? I've done it both ways where I didn't have a lot of marketing. I just got people on a sales call and I closed them. You have to be really good at sales if you're gonna take that route, okay? But I personally love it this way because, again, people are buying me before I ever even speak to them, which is so awesome. So you're gonna wanna be posting daily content, right? If not daily, you wanna be posting at least several times a week, right? Because that content is gonna nurture people. I actually link people to my YouTube channel. So even this video right here, maybe you actually saw me first on my Instagram, right? So you checked out my Instagram and then you came to my YouTube channel and now you're watching long form content, right? And so this is where the concept goes into, they'll date you on Instagram, but they'll actually marry you on YouTube. They'll marry you on your long form content. Now, it doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be your podcast. It could be somewhere else, right? You can even leverage email for this. But I really love video content because it is the fastest way to engineer getting somebody to know you, like you, and trust you. Because what video does inherently, which is so awesome, is that it naturally attracts the people that you want to work with and it repels the people that you don't want to work with. Because guess what? When you're watching this video right now, if you just don't like the way I look and you don't like the way I talk, well, then you're not going to watch this video, right? But if you like the way I look and you like my whole atmosphere here and how I'm talking, well, then we're probably alike in some shape, form, or another, right? And those are the type of people that you want to work with, right? You want to work with people that you like, right? Nobody wants to work with people that they don't like, you know? And so that's why video is just so cool, because ultimately it's going to repel the people that don't like you. And a lot of clients complain like, oh, I'm afraid to be on video. Like, what if people don't like me and different things like that? I'm like, dude, that's what you want. Like, you want to repel the people that don't like you, because those are going to be the worst clients anyway. Those are the people that you don't want to work with. And that's what's so cool about this. And so I definitely recommend, when you first start off, get some YouTube content, even if it's not a lot, like even just 1 to 2, 3 videos talking about your story, talking about what you do, and those are going to actually do wonders as well. Something else, this is kind of MVP, but ultimately once you start getting enough traffic, you can actually run a retargeting campaign. And so you can run more so a retargeting campaign that is more so middle or bottom of the funnel. This technically right here is already middle of the funnel. So this is top of funnel, as I mentioned earlier. This is middle of the funnel, and you can retarget people and maybe hit them up with a stronger call to action, right? Nobody wants to be sold upfront. It's like going on a date and asking somebody to marry you on the first date, right? Like, you want to get to know them first. You want to take them out for lunch, you know, maybe then dinner, take them out to a movie, right? Whatever it might be. And then once you feel cool about it and you know that the person's the one, then you pop the magic question. And so nobody wants to be sold, but everybody likes to buy. Right? It's so interesting, right? And so at the end of the day, this is what's so cool, because you educate people, you know, nurture them. And then once they've consumed your content, you can retarget them with a direct offer and then get them to ultimately either send you a message. This is gonna be through their direct message on DMs. It could be either inbound, but every time you get a new follower, my recommendation is that you should actually reach out to those people. And you're just gonna strike up a conversation. It doesn't have to be a hardcore sales pitch. Hey man, how's it going? Thanks for following me. Like, what motivated you to give me a follow? And just strike up a conversation and see if there's some mutual understanding there, and if they want some help, then they'll want to talk to you. But guys, this is such a strategy that's so under leveraged right now, and people want it. People are so sick and tired of all these agencies and coaches making these crazy claims. And even when they have worked with these types of businesses, they don't fulfill on them. It hurts the industry, but people want something different, right? And so people want something that works. And so ultimately you can reach out to people, and then you can book a call with them. And then ultimately, if you do a good job and if they like what you're selling, then they'll become a client, right? Now, an optional thing is that in between them booking a call, you can actually have a video sales letter. And so this is just a short video where you talk a little bit more about the opportunity and the offer that you put in place. And it's just there to nurture people even more before they jump on a call with you. But that's literally it, guys. That is the social demand funnel. This is what we've been using at our agency, and our show rate has gone through the roof. Our show rate right now is between an 80 to a 90%, which before it used to be between 40 and 60% when we did more of a direct response funnel. This has been so cool. The clients that have been coming in for our agency are not jerks. Like, they're cool people, like people that we could be friends with. And even for my coaching business, it has been wonderful because they're all people that I could be friends with. They're people that come and talk to me. It's like, hey man, I already checked out your stuff, and ultimately I just want to know if I can afford it. And that's been really cool to experience. And my students have implementing this. I have a case study here on the channel of Hamza Ali, who right now is just getting so many people reaching out to him, asking him for work. He can't even handle it. Like, his biggest problem used to be lead generation. Now it's like he has more leads than he knows what to do with. Like, he's actually trying to keep up with that demand. And it's just because of the brand that he built on Instagram and the demand that he's been generating through it. So I'm gonna make some more video content, breaking some more stuff down in the future. But overall, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of how you can implement this in your business so that you can actually get some more business for yourself. You don't have to be worrying about where your next client's gonna come from. Also, guys, if you just want to learn more about this, feel free to follow me on Instagram, shoot me a message if you want to connect. I'm here to support, help you guys. Like, as I mentioned before, I used to struggle a lot in my business, and it wasn't until a few years ago when I finally figured it out and I was actually able to build a business where I could actually remove myself and I can spend more time doing stuff like this. So if you want to learn more about that, hit me up. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.